Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pick a Stack Wednesday. So if you're not familiar with Pick a Stack, what we do is we've got 3 stacks here. Your mission is to think of an idea, issue, or question that's going on in your life or somebody else's life or maybe just in the whole world, and then pick one of the stacks, 2 of the stacks, or even all 3 of the stacks and listen to the video. Today, each stack includes 2 tarot cards from 2 different decks, a rune, and a crystal. And each stack tells a story. So let's get started. If you chose stack number 1, first of all, your crystal is white howlite. White howlite is a calming stone. It can aid with insomnia, especially when caused by an overactive mind. Like a lot of what's going on today, maybe you're worried and having a hard time sleeping. So this would be a good stone for that. One of the things you can do is put the stone in your pillowcase down in the corner so that it is with you and you won't get it lost in the bed. It can help with formulating ambitions and aid in achieving them. It can strengthen memory and stimulate a desire for knowledge. It teaches patience and helps to eliminate rage, pain, and stress. In other words, we should be like sending this all over the country right now, maybe all over the world. So that's a nice calming stone. So if you chose stack number 1, maybe there's something going on in your life other than all the stuff outside of your home that's stressing you out. So let's kind of start with that. I'm going to do the runes last. So we will do this card next. This is from the Animals Divine Tarot. This is the 9 of Pentacles. Now in this deck, the 9 of Pentacles is represented by the bear. The bear goes in his cave to find out who he is. He's very introspective. But the 9 of Pentacles, which is also the 9 of Coins or the 9 of Earth, this is material things coming to you. And it's almost like the bear is taking his big paw and swiping it and making things happen, making things appear. So when you have something going on in your life like that's stressing you out, the bear can help. The bear, the bear is big. The bear, he's kind of like the king of the forest. At least here in Minnesota, we have deer and they're very gentle, and we have, wolves and we have coyotes, but then we have the bear, and he's the king of our jungle, basically. So the bear can help you with whatever it is that you're going through. And he can also help bring in those material things that you're needing. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to help you win the lottery. If he could, we'd all be calling on the bear. But he can help you with those things that you need to survive. So maybe calling on your bear spirit guide can be helpful. But this also shows that the 9 of Pentacles, that those things are coming to you. Now, if you live in fear and you worry all the time, and you're not going to have enough and you're thinking lack, that's the reality you're going to create. What you need to do is think about the reality that you want to create. I have more than enough for me and my family. In fact, I have so much I can share with others. Those are the kinds of realities that we want to create. So just think about that bear, the bear coming out of the cave and knowing there's going to be enough food and enough toilet paper and stuff for him and his family to live on. So that's the first card. The second card is from the Spirit Song Tarot deck. And you have the Knight of Feathers. So the Knight of Feathers is represented by, it's funny because I was just talking about a wolf or a coyote, and there it is. So you've got the knight, which the knight is the one that works for God and king, or God and queen, God and country. and he's got a mission. He gets everything that he needs, meaning, horse, food, armor, sword, knives, daggers. He gets everything he needs, and he goes on this mission. Now, this is the Knight of Feathers, which is also known as the Knight of Air. And the Knight of Air is very swift. And if you look at the picture, this creature is very cunning as well. He's kind of like the secret agent, 007 kind of thing. He's the knight. He's on the mission for the queen. He's got everything he needs, and he's very wary and uses discernment. Who do I trust to get to my goal, and who do I not trust? Who do I have to look out for? So you've got the bear bringing you all your worldly goods that you need, and then you've got this, use discernment, but know that whatever mission you're on, can be very successful as long as you use your discernment. Who do I trust? Not just who do I trust, but, what person, but what groups, what communities, where can I go safely? So use your discernment on that. The bear would be doing that as well, but the bear is probably not going to be as afraid because everybody's afraid of the bear. All right, your rune is Hagalaz. Let's see. This rune is all about self-expression, a force that we can learn to control, concentration, explosions of happiness, untiring vitality, but it can also be an inner crisis. And, so if you're that bear in the cave, maybe you're having a crisis in the cave. It can be loss. Now, it could be, you've lost your job, or you've lost your livelihood, or God forbid, you lost your business or your home in rioting or something like that. But this, I don't want to say the negative side. The negative side, the darker side of this is loss. But the positive side is self-expression. So the message that Hagalaz conveys is to not be afraid of our wild side, which is really interesting because you've got the bear and the wolf here, or coyote. I'm not really sure which one it is. You got these wild animals, and now your rune says don't be afraid of your wild side. So if you need to be a little bit wild, maybe to stand up for yourself, that would be a good thing. So the book on this says, often in our lives, we censor our aggression and consider it totally negative without realizing that this is an incorrect attitude to have and not very courageous. This rune underlines instead the thought that our more tempestuous sides contain a great creative potential, one we must embrace and manage. So this is all about being aware of our behavior. So interesting with all the stuff that's going on out there in the world. Be aware of our behavior. I feel like we need to not succumb to this negative energy. And it's funny because this is an N. Don't succumb to the negative energy. The people that are out there protesting and are legitimately protesting, yay you, thank you. But those that are rioting and destroying small businesses and people's homes and people's livelihoods and neighborhoods, shame on you. Let's manage our own behavior. Take a few deep breaths first before we act or react. So we can embrace our wild side, but we can also do it for the greater good. And I feel like that's what this is all about. This stack number 1 is all about remaining calm and not succumbing to fears, to worries, and to any of those darker, lower emotions. So Hopefully that resonates with your idea, issue, or question. I think just take a few deep breaths and gather yourself before you act or react to anything, and we'll be good. So that's stack number 1. Stack number 2. Stack number 2. Your stone is angel light. And it's kind of a pale blue. There we go. I'm going to read a little bit here. Considered to be a gift from the angels, angelite is a perfect stone to use to contact and communicate with the angels and spiritually aligned beings to receive information for yourself and for others. It's good for dream work and their meanings. It's an excellent choice to help smooth your emotional body. Excellent at balancing, polarizing, and aligning the physical body with the aura. It can help with self-expression, communication, and allow us to speak our minds and become more assertive. Now that means becoming assertive, not becoming angry and aggressive. This is a good stone for standing up for yourself. Don't take crap from anybody. All right, we're going to do that rune last. So let's start with the first tarot card, which is from the Animals Divine deck. Oh, this is the Wheel. So in this deck, the Wheel, which is Major Arcana card number 10, which is all about new beginnings, this card is represented by all animals. So if you think about all the animals in the world getting together to make the world a better place, getting together for communication, for, creation, this is a beautiful card. So whatever your idea, issue, or question is, you've got angels with the crystal, and now you've got all the animals. So this is a very gentle energy. Angels and animals, very gentle, very compassionate, very, just take a deep breath and just appreciate life. Yeah, that's just beautiful. I'm going to pick the next card. This is from the Spirit Song deck. So your next card is the 8 of Feathers. This is the 8 of Air. Air is change. And you look at this little guy. He's just a sweet little mouse. But you know what? The little mouse usually has a lot of courage. Think about that. If you've ever had a mouse in your house, they have to have courage for some of the stuff that they try to do, the stuff they try to steal from you, the stuff they try to get into the wall. They might be trying to grab a bag of peanuts and carry it into their nest. It's like, to them, there's no limitations. I mean, unless there's a cat around. But there's no limitations at what they're going to try to do. So this is all about having courage. And you've got the angels and the animals all working together, and then you've got courage here. So whatever's going on in your life, this is all about change and having the courage to face the change, stand up with that change, embrace it, and know that what's on the other side is even better than where you're at right now. Because you've got all the animals to back you up. You've got all the angels to back you up. A lot of people are going through some, scary stuff, facing fears. This is saying it's okay to do that because you've got courage. You've got that little mouse. You've got the 8 of Air or the 8 of Feathers. And all the animals. And let's see, your rune is, I don't even pretend that I know how to pronounce all these, so I apologize if I pronounce it wrong, but Gabo, plus there's, so many ways to pronounce things. Gabo signifies a gift, a sign of devotion and reward, and is closely connected to love and brotherhood. The essence of this rune has to do with gratitude and generosity. Gabo also indicates the importance of humility. So this talks about love and brotherhood, and you just had all the animals in the world card and courage. So this just ties right into that. Abundance, generosity, universal love, a positive exchange. Now the other side of that can mean isolation, solitude, hypocrisy, fear of others, and meanness. Now, we all have choices every day to be mean or to be nice to somebody. And, my running theme is take a deep breath before you act or react. Because, when we say something or do something, it's forever. You may forget about it, but the person that you said it to might remember it for the rest of their lives, and it might haunt them. Now, granted, that's their choice too, but we still need to make the choice of, do I want to say this or not? So this rune can show us how to be open and trusting and how that influences the world around us. And it's funny because you got the world card. So this is, it's not a material thing. Stack number 1 was much more material. This one is more about, our spirituality, our humility, how we feel that the world is sacred. So it's not material. You've got the 8 of air, you've got the wheel and all the animals, you've got angels with the crystal, and you've got brotherhood. This is the coming together of people, of beings. So are you working on something that maybe you need to work on it with other people instead of working on it by yourself? Because that could be. So just know that there's some brotherhood thing going on here. Hopefully that helps. I feel also like you're supposed to be calling on your animal spirit guides. You're supposed to be calling on your angels. They don't necessarily have to be 3D people. It can be your guides and guardians, your ascended masters. Because remember, they're far more powerful out there than we are here. Because we limit ourselves. They don't limit themselves. They know how powerful they are. So call on your guides and guardians for whatever that issue or question is. Because you're not alone. You might be alone in your house right now physically, but you're never alone. Because of all your ancestors and your guides and your guardians and your angels and your ascended masters. Okay? So just remember that. You're not alone. So that's stack number 2. Stack number 3. If you chose stack number 3, we have a big green kyanite for the stone. In my shop here, we have the tumbled green kyanite, and then we have the untumbled blue kyanite, and then we have the black fan kyanite. So we have 3 different kinds, and it's a nice healing stone. Kyanite never needs cleaning. It can't accumulate negative energy like some stones, like this beautiful clear quartz in the background here. It can actually be used to cleanse other crystals. So having kyanite with your other stones means you don't have to cleanse the other stones as much. I know we have a full moon starting tomorrow night. So it's Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. And it's a good time to put the crystals out in the moonlight and allow them to be cleansed and charged. But having something like a kyanite with them, or selenite, and there's other stones too, helps keep those cleansed. Kyanite can also promote good communication. It can aid in remembering childhood memories. Has a high spiritual energy that can enhance one's psychic abilities and allows for a closer connection and transfer of information from higher beings. So from angels, from ascended masters, from your ancestors. It's an excellent crystal for meditation, and it works with the throat and third eye chakras. The kyanite crystals are good stones for helping us with our humanity, discretion, honor, and encourage us to act more charitably and focus our efforts in service to others. And I think it's really interesting when my guides tell me which stones to use. They're always so appropriate for what's going on out there in the world. So this one's all about service to others and healing. Your first tarot card is from the Animals Divine Tarot, and you get a major arcana card, card number 5. It's the High Priest card, and in this deck, the High Priest is represented by Ganesha. And the High Priest is all about receiving divine messages. And if you look at this picture, there's the little mouse from stack number 2, but there's light coming out of this book or going into this book, or probably both. And, this card's all about receiving messages from on high, receiving messages from your spirit guides and guardians, from ascended masters, from angels and archangels who work with the light, and being in that receiving mode, because we can be given messages, but that doesn't mean we're receiving them. And we need to be in that receiving mode. And if you look at the picture, he's got his crystal ball. He's got like a bull's horn, like a horn of plenty in this hand. And then he's got a wand in this hand. He's got his hand on his abdomen right here. And this is there's your third chakra, which is your energy center and self-worth and self-esteem. And this is all about going inside ourselves and learning who we are and spiritually, remaining positive, having our connection to the divine source, God, creator, great spirit. If we can maintain that connection to our higher source, we will get through anything and everything. There's not even a question. It's when we lose that connection to the divine that we start going down that spiral. So whatever you're going through right now, make sure that you're maintaining that divine connection, that connection to the light. And asking for help, he's got his little mouse friend. Asking for help is always okay. Whether that's asking help of your spirit guides and guardians or a physical person, ask for help. But maintain that connection to the divine. And that can be for yourself or others. So your next card is from the Spirit Song Tarot deck. And it's another major arcana card. And this is card number 1. This is the Magician. So you had card number 5, and now you have card number 1. The Magician is represented by this raven. And if you look, there's a little infinity sign on the top of its head. So that's the connection to the divine. And if you look, there's a sun behind his body. So that's also divine. So this magician is saying we can create the magic. We create our realities. It all comes down to that connection to the divine, and the reality that you have, you've created, and the reality that you want, you can create. If you want world peace, we can create it. You just got to take that first step, or that first leap, or that first flight. But it's all about intention. It's all about intention. There's so much intention in these two cards. We don't necessarily have to go out physically and do something to create our perfect reality. We can do it from within our homes. So whether you pray or meditate or do a mantra or color, draw, paint, whatever, use the intention to create a reality that is filled with love and peace and joy and compassion and understanding and forgiveness. But you have to do it with intention, okay? That's where, when we have these sayings, it starts with you, that's where it comes from. It does start with you because it's all about your intention. What's in your heart? If your heart is filled with love and joy, then that's the reality that you're going to create. Okay? All right. And that whole service to self. I feel like stack number 3 has a very 5D flavor to it because this is all about service to others. Now, granted, service to self is necessary because we have to take care of ourselves. We have to nurture ourselves so that we can nurture others. But it doesn't mean spend all your time on yourself. It just means spend time on yourself, nurturing yourself so you can help others. All right, and your rune is Uruz. And let's see. Uruz is the male principle representing virility and the vital breath that resides in each of us from the moment we are born. This rune is traditionally associated with audacity and courage. Positive keywords are strength, tenacity, courage, resistance in adverse conditions, difficult tasks, rapid actions. On the negative side, it can be aggressiveness, anger, lust, destruction, impulsiveness, or weakness. So the Uruz urges us not to fear our instincts. There is a great potential in all of us, and it is our duty to direct this potential into constructive actions. People often encounter fear and resistance on the path to becoming themselves. The message from Uruz is to accept these challenges, to take on our own responsibilities, and to realize our destiny in the world. This is a time to work hard and to focus our energies towards our dreams. Only with courage and actions can we realize our potential. So, courage and actions and intentions and some service to others. And bring in some magic. Bring in some magic, man. Life is too darn short to be boring, so bring in the magic. So if you chose stack number 3, you're the magicians. You got to bring in the magic. And when you bring in the magic, you are the shining example for everybody else. So you're the example for your neighborhood, for your family, for your friends. And they're going to say, hey, what's that person doing? Why do they have magic? And then you can teach them. So that is awesome. Go create a new reality for us, would ya? All the people that chose stack number 3. All right. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope you have a blessed rest of the day. Just remember to breathe before you act and react, and do whatever you can to make somebody else's day. I love you, my beautiful soul family. You have an amazing evening, and you will see me soon. Namaste.